Hey Royalsicle, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to talk about my and your, if you're watching this video, recent obsession, which is Young Royals. Young Royals is a Netflix original TV show about a Swedish teenage prince who is caught on camera fighting and is sent to a boarding school by his parents. While he's trying to adjust to a new place, he falls for another guy, and it's more complicated to navigate this new feelings for him because of his royal status. The show is genius, let's not be shy about it. I'm absolutely in love with it, and it has a lot of things going for it. It's a Swedish gay royal woman set in a boarding school. What else do you want? Nothing. It's amazing. If you have not seen it yet, go to Netflix, watch the show. It's just 6 episodes, and come back for some book recommendations, because that's what this video is going to be. It's a very exciting story with some fun characters and amazing chemistry, which is really important in romance. If you've seen it already though, and you're looking for similar media to consume, I got you. I'm going to recommend you 5 queer royal romances, and I hope that they're going to satisfy your cravings. The first book that I gotta talk about is obviously Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I cannot skip on it. I know that more experienced booktube people that watch book content a lot probably read it already or are aware of it, but people that are going to find this video because of the TV show maybe didn't hear about that book yet. And it's an amazing book. It's set in an alternative universe where in 2016 a female president was chosen, and this president has a son whose name is Alex, who has a long-time rivalry with the British prince named Henry. They get into a nasty altercation at the royal wedding of Henry's brother, and they ruin a huge expensive cake which is leaked to the newspapers, and because of it they have to do some damage control. So their PR teams come up with a plan to force them to pretend that they actually are really good friends. And as you figured out by now, probably because they spend a lot of time with each other, they actually get to know each other, and they don't actually hate each other, they're actually really attracted to each other, which is fun. This novel is incredibly funny, it's very uplifting, it definitely is pure escapism, and Casey McQuiston's writing style is delightful. I read this book one time, but I swear to you, every 6 months I get an urge to reread it, because I had such a wonderful time reading this novel. It's just a very joyful book, and it gave me a lot of serotonin. The friendships and familiar relationships are also amazing in the story. The chemistry between the characters is top-notch. The way their relationship is developed is very good because they become actual friends. I just really love this book, and I'm not the only one. The next one that I want to recommend is also very popular, but it's the most similar to Young Royals. As much as a book can be similar to a TV show that it's not based on, royal romance is a trope. There are a lot of royal romances out there. Certain elements are quite similar usually, especially when it comes to queer royal romances. They're very often about royals being unable to be public with their relationships because there is an extra focus on someone so famous. This book is not an exception to this, but it was definitely toned down a little bit. I think because it's a young adult novel, unlike all the other books that I'm talking about in this video, all the other ones are adult novels. The book that I'm talking about is Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins. It's an FF young adult royal romance about a girl whose girlfriend is breaking up with her and who decides to go to this prestigious school in Scotland to dive into science and forget about her relationship woes. She's very confident that she would be able to start fresh and to focus on her studies, but she is assigned a room with an actual Scottish princess that doesn't really like her for some reason. They don't get along and they are roommates. Don't we all just love that? It's an amazing premise. I love this book so much. It's incredibly funny. I personally value humor in romantic fiction because it just makes everything better, in my opinion. The plot in this novel is very tight. It's well-paced. The characters struggle with their personal issues, and it makes the romance a little bit more interesting. The dislike to love element also gives it a fun kick. I really appreciate this novel. It's beautifully done, it's fun and funny, and it's a sapphic romance. I love it. The next novel that I want to recommend, I don't see on BookTube at all, and that's for shame because it's so good and everyone needs to jump on that and read it. It's Playing the Palace by Paul Rudnick. It's an adult romance, and it starts with our protagonist, who is an event organizer. He does events for Manhattan Elite, and one time he's assigned to organize a big conference for the British prince that is dedicated to the clean water cause, and he accidentally meets the prince, of course. The prince comes to rehearse his big speech and he needs an audience. They feel the first blooms of attraction and they decide to follow through with it. This novel is ridiculously funny. I was cackling and howling in my apartment at 2 a.m. in the morning, disturbing my neighbors probably. I do not know what they think of me at this point, but I have no regrets. Because when you read about a British prince that is going on a date to IHOP with his American boyfriend, you just simply cannot stop yourself. You just can't. What was very refreshing about this novel is that the prince was actually out, but he had to still maintain a proper facade because he's a royal. So we get into this whole interesting conundrum of, yes, I'm out and I can theoretically date people, but the papers are gonna be on my ass. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be a turn off for my partner. And also, if I'm appearing in magazines with this person, I have to know that it's forever or a long-term type of thing. The single was very interesting for me. So Playing the Palace by Paul Rudnick. Read it. So the next royal romance that I want to recommend is How to Find a Princess by Alyssa Cole. It's also FF, and it has a very different premise. It's very original in a way for these types of romances, royal romances. It's about a woman that works for a special organization that is dedicated to making sure that the monarchs continue to exist. And her recent assignment is to find the lost princess of Abrania, which is a made-up country, but we don't care. And she finds a woman in America that she 99% believes is the lost princess and is trying to change her mind about being royalty. The characters in this are very distinct. You could definitely tell them apart. Their personalities were interesting because one of them was a real people pleaser to the point of it being annoying. Her girlfriend was breaking up with her at the start of the novel and she was helping her pack her bags. Obviously there's a character arc where she grows into a person that finally learns to say no to people. And also because of her personality, Baz, who's love interest and who was very straightforward and bold, was an interesting contrast. So it's definitely an opposites attracts romance. Also, it's very slow burn, very slow burn. So if you're not into slow burn, I don't think you're going to enjoy it. The last book that I want to talk about in this video is Modern English by Rachel Spangler. It's another FF adult romance. The story is set in England and follows the daughter of a duke that allows a film crew into the family castle so they would use it as a set for their movie. And she develops a romance with the lead actress of the movie. This book is very sensual and surprisingly also incredibly witty and has amazing banter. This was my first Rachel Spangler and I'm going to read more of her books because of the writing style. I really enjoyed it. This also offers an interesting look into modern royalty because the noble character in it allowed her parents and society to push her into a straight marriage. and to deny her feelings and desires. And I think this perspective is pretty unique because usually in queer world romances, the characters get these two options, hide or come out, and they usually decide to come out at the end. But this book takes a different approach. We meet the character after she divorced her partner who was cheating on her, even though they were friends and they promised to each other that even though they are not attracted to each other, or rather the protagonist is not attracted to him, they are not going to sleep with other people and they're going to care for each other's reputations. So with the new love interest, the conflict is, should we go against expectations because we've suffered enough, or should we continue to live a covert life? Because both of these characters, interestingly enough, are public figures. One of them is an actress who's trying to break out, and the other one is the daughter of the Duke. So they both have skin to lose. I think this is a very cool interpretation of a queer world romance, so I do recommend you to pick it up. I also have another argument up my sleeve, which is these characters meet and the first thing they do is hold each other at sword's point. I'm not going to give you any context because it's more fun to not give you any context, but if you're into that, pick this book up. So these are 5 books that I recommend you to pick up if you enjoyed Young Royals and you're looking for more queer royal romances. If you have any to recommend to me, leave them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video but you have nothing to say, which happens to me all the goddamn time, just leave the emoji of the crown in the comments down below, because today we're talking about queer world romances. This is it for today. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. I'll see you soon with another video, but until then,